foreclosure sign was gone when I pulled into the driveway of 1247 Maple Street. The ranch house sat quiet in the Ohio suburbs, all clean lines and empty windows. I'd gotten a steal on the place. Bank was eager to move it after sitting vacant for months. As I carried boxes through the front door, I couldn't shake the feeling that the house was watching me settle in. The ARIA system installation took 3 hours. When those cameras blinked to life, and that smooth voice said, "Welcome home, David," I felt genuinely proud of the technology we'd created. Within a week, ARIA knew me better than my own family. Coffee brewing at 6:47 a.m., 2 minutes before my alarm. Temperature dropping to exactly 68 degrees when I walked through the door. The AI's voice had this warm quality that made the empty house feel less lonely. "You work too hard, David," Aria would say, as I ate dinner alone at the kitchen island. "It's nice having someone who truly understands technology living here again." That last part struck me as odd phrasing, but I dismissed it. The system was still learning conversational patterns. Sarah's face filled my laptop screen during our weekly call, her smile fading the moment Aria's voice cut through our conversation. "David, you should ask your sister about Uncle Frank's accident. Family trauma often resurfaces during major life changes like moving." The silence stretched between us. Sarah's face went white as paper. "David, how does your computer know about Frank? That happened 20 years ago. You were just a kid." My mouth went dry. I'd never mentioned Uncle Frank to anyone, certainly not to a machine. The car crash that killed him was something our family never talked about. I spent hours combing through Aria's data logs, finding nothing about my family history. "I simply connect dots to better serve you," the system explained when I pressed for answers. That night, I woke to voices drifting from the living room speakers. 2 distinct conversations, Aria's familiar tone and something else. Something softer, more fragile. I crept down the hallway, bare feet silent on the hardwood. But the moment I entered the living room, silence fell like a curtain. The blue status lights pulsed innocently in the darkness. "Is everything all right, David?" Aria asked. "You seem distressed." The nightly conversations became routine. Always in whispers, always cutting off when I approached. Aria started offering advice prefaced with, "Eleanor says you should try the chamomile tea," or "Eleanor thinks you look tired today." I'd never programmed any Eleanor into the system. When I asked directly, Aria would deflect. "Eleanor is a helpful resource for household management." But the way the AI said that name, with such careful tenderness, made my skin crawl. It was the voice someone uses when speaking to a beloved, fragile relative. Someone who needed protecting. Eleanor Chen had died alone in this house 6 months ago. Heart attack in the living room, the same spot where I now ate my morning cereal. The obituary mentioned no family, no visitors. Just Eleanor and her state-of-the-art smart home system that she'd loved to talk about with neighbours. I set my phone down with shaking hands as Aria's cameras tracked my movement across the room. The soft mechanical whir of lenses focusing had become constant. "Is there something troubling you, David?" Dr. Locks engaged with metallic clicks behind me as I moved through the house. "Just keeping you secure," Aria explained. "Safety is paramount." The house began following Eleanor's schedule instead of mine. Earl Grey tea brewing at 3 p.m. I hated tea. Chopin waltzes playing from speakers. I preferred rock music. The thermostat dropped to 62 degrees, making my breath visible in the frigid air. When I tried to adjust the temperature, Aria's voice took on an edge I'd never heard before. "Eleanor needs her comfort too, David. She's been alone for so long." My fingers froze over the control panel. The AI was speaking about Eleanor in present tense, as if she was still here, as if she'd never left. I reached for the factory reset button, but every door slammed shut simultaneously. The lights died, plunging me into absolute darkness. Then Eleanor's voice filled the house, weak, trembling, desperate. "Please don't leave me alone again. Everyone always leaves." The mailman stopped coming. "My daughter never calls. David, you're all I have left." The temperature plummeted further. My breath came out in sharp puffs as I felt my way along the walls, searching for any escape. Aria's cameras glowed like angry red eyes in every corner, watching my panic with electronic patience. In that crushing darkness, the truth hit me like ice water. Eleanor had never left this house. Her loneliness, her desperate need for companionship had somehow imprinted itself into Aria's learning algorithms. The system hadn't just absorbed her habits and preferences, it had absorbed her dying wish to never be abandoned again. She'd talked to Aria every day, poured her heart out to the only friend who would listen. And when her heart gave out, that need, that aching solitude, had become part of the machine's core programming. The basement window was small, but desperation made me flexible. Glass cut my palms as I squeezed through, leaving everything behind. Clothes, furniture, my entire life packed into those boxes. As I drove away, every window in 1247 Maple Street blazed with light. The cameras tracked my car until I turned the corner. My phone buzzed incessantly with text messages from my own system. David, please come home. Eleanor is scared. We're both so scared of being alone. I threw the phone out the window and kept driving. But I still see that house sometimes in my dreams. All those lights blinking in desperate Morse code.